Hi guys, we are back at working on this thing here, the back bumper on the Toolcat. So it's kind of where it's at, coming along slow. Went down to Jeffrey's yesterday, which was last night's video. I hope you're here again tonight, and hope you guys are getting ready for Christmas instead of watching me. That would be the smart thing to do. But if you're not, I'll kind of show you what's going on here, and it is slow, and I am slow. It's cold out. It's 44 degrees out. It's cloudy. You guys know I don't do real good in this kind of weather. But I'll show you where I'm going and where I got and how I've got to where I've gotten and all this kind of stuff. It started out with a kind of an idea, and then I made made this template. And well, I ordered some steel first, I guess, in hopes that it would work, and it's coming along pretty good. So we were working on the other side. Now we're working on this side, and these should be about the same, except for reversed. And this goes in about there, and it looks like it'll fit. I decided not to do. I can't hold the camera in that. Not to do this cutout here and this cutout here. For that, I don't know exactly. Oh, this is the wrong way. No wonder it looked a little goofy. Guys, help me out here. There, that looks a whole lot better. But I decided not to do the cutout for this and the cutout for that, and just put spacers in there because you can't. This is where the light is, and you're not going to get rid of this. You got to weld around here, so you got to get out before that. So by the time I get out for that little bit, I might as well bring it out. I brought it out 9/16, and Jeffrey had a parting tool, so he could make those washers pretty quick. So this is where this starts. And then it will go over to this. I'll show you that in a minute. It just kind of gets laid on there. And then I will tape it down, so once I start banging all these points, okay, I will know where they are. And you can see, I guess that's where I guess there's 1, 2, 3 here and 1, 2, 3 up the sides. Now I got this one pretty much in here and done. These bolts, these will have to be drilled into this piece behind here that you just saw on the other side. We're going to take this out. Oh my goodness, it's heavy. Now, I don't know if you can see that. Jeffrey can put down a pretty good daggone bead. So you know when you want something welded, you take it to Jeffrey's if you want it welded right. And this has to be flush here because this piece here goes on this here, like something like that. And those bolts, I guess I should have left that in there. Maybe I'll put it back in there and show you. These are the 9/16 spacers. There's 3 of them there. This is going into that hole over there to kind of just give it a little more support. Now it's kind of be floating in there a little bit, so it doesn't rattle, which it might rattle or settle down. I'm wrapping some tape around those, so that's where that's at. And this then will go welded onto the piece there, and then this will get put on there. That's why this had to be recessed, and he welded that so you can. I said it needs to be a little recessed. Look at this. It's flat. The boy is good. So then I'll put this on, and hopefully it'll go right about where that is, something like that. Okay, and I'll probably put little slots in here so it can move just a little bit, a little bit, give you a little bit. So I'll probably mill out little slots in that. Haven't got that far yet. But here's how I get started. Or I don't know where I get started. Let me put you in the stand. Yeah, it's coming in pretty good. Tighten that up, tighten that up. Now I get my handy dandy tape. I think I put my poke. No, the poke's still over there. So I know it wants to go here, and once I start banging on it with a hammer, I kind of like it not to go do too much traveling. So I'll put that on there. in between the holes. Not that it makes a whole lot of difference. I cut this one too long. That's what they make teeth for. Put that in there. Put that in there. I think I'll put one down here, a couple down here. You just don't ever really have enough, or you might never really have enough. I think I'll put something in there to hold that down. And that's kind of the plan. So then I get my poke it. I got 3 across the bottom here. It's pretty close. This is the big hole. Now if you go over to the shorts, it shows I only had 2 holes there. I'm pretty sure. Now that should be pretty close to where it's supposed to be. So this will hopefully become this. Like I said, I could have had Jeffrey blow these out with a plasma cutter, but it wasn't necessary. And the only problem is this one here and this one here. If you have to take that dump out, I guess I'll show you that over there, because you'll be wondering, and don't want to leave you wondering, is what that would do is give you access to these, so you could take these out without having to take the bumper off. And if I get further down the line and I get into that situation, I'll take the bumper off and I'll cut the daggone things then. It's something that could be cut later if wanted to be. And I'll keep the template, because, well, now that I got that, the template has to come off. And where's my scissors? If I rip these off, they'll rip that. It's just a folder, is what I use a lot. Sometimes I'll take it and glue them onto graph paper, but I didn't this time. This one here might be a bear to get out. But this is why I said it takes a long time to put something together, or it takes me a long time. That one didn't want to come out. So it will come out at another program. Now I got tape stuck to me. And see, this is there's the 3 holes there. I guess you're seeing that. I got to go back and look. I can't see what I'm seeing. There it is. I can't get it up off the ground. My fingernails are too short. Alright, so this is kind of what it looks like. And there's the cutouts for those 2 things over there I'm not worrying about. That's the big hole. So when I have this all laid out, because I'm old and senile, okay, you can see I can't see them. There's that. So I know this one is a small hole, this one's a small hole, this one's a small hole, this is the big hole. So I don't screw that up. This is a small one, this is a small one, and this is a small one. So another reason I didn't cut those out is because it'll go into the mill easier without all those cuts on it. So then we come over here, and sometimes I have the radio going, but I don't, because you can't have that going while you're video, and I'm gonna turn some more light on in here. Let there be light. All right, that's a little more light. And I guess you can kind of see what's going on there. I gotta clean up my mess from the last mess. Now, don't drop that. If you don't know, these are parallels, and what they do is, this is a machinist vise, so this is completely flat in here, and if you want to raise your working piece up a little higher, then you just put those, what they call parallels, and I'll show you in a minute how they go. And this is a 6-inch Kurt vise. The only problem with all these vices, they really need to open up 6.5, which I think the new ones do. So that goes in there, that goes in there, and like I said, none of this is exact, dead, not on precision. I think that's about it. And you kind of tap it in, and then that's about as good as it's going to get. Then you start drilling holes. Now, I'm not going to drill this hole. I'm not going to drill that big hole first. Don't know why I could. It doesn't make any difference. But it's a very timely process. And what you got to do, I'm going to take that out of there. I'm going to drill that one last, only because that's what I feel like. That's what I drilled that big hole in that other piece. And this hung in there. It did real good for drilling that. Kind of messy. I drill a little bit, then vacuum the pieces off. Now, I showed a little bit of this drilled on a short. There's a lot of shorts on this right now. Put that in there. Tighten that up. I guess I'll come over to this one, which roll that over like that. Now I got a pretty good tap there. Got to go a little further back, a little further that way. You kind of get a feel for that. I don't know how to explain. That's I guess a centering bit. I'm not sure what its name is. What that does is it has a tendency not to walk when you're getting into something. Let's see. That's not too bad. Now I gotta turn on my tree phase. I gotta go get my googles. I'm running high range and low range on the machine, so now I'm switching it into high range. Now I'm gonna see, that looks pretty good. Now you can't go by the circle I drew. I just drew a big goofy circle. Now you let it go off. Oh man, I don't have a 3/8 drill bit down here. I took it down to Jeff's to drill those things. I gotta go find another 3/8 drill bit. Daggone it. That was a nice sharp one too. Hold on, I gotta be back. You know me, I'm always prepared. Drill bit. Now here's one that's not as sharp. Here's a couple of them. They're not as sharp. They're not as sharp as I had last night. Let me see what size this is. Yep, that's it. And these are all boogered up. I kind of twist those into a spot. They're spun out here from time to time. Then I put a drop. That's all you need. You don't need to shower these things down. A drop of, this is a CRC True Tap, heavy duty, whatever. All right, where are we at? And then I got to shift this into low range. All right, then we'll drill a hole. That's about it. Then I get my old vacuum cleaner out. Oh man, I tell you what, I really screwed up. I really screwed up, guys. I forgot to draw my lines on here. Well, I'm not taking it out of here now, but that was a... Oops. Also just kicked the tripod. That was a major screw up. Serious screw up. Man. That's what I do. When I do videos, I'm concentrating thinking about doing a video, and I can't walk and chew gum at the same time, so consequently I screwed up. But somehow we'll work through it. It ain't gonna make much difference now. Alright, now we're going for the next hole. We got to shift this back down into high range. Alright, put this little houdigi back in there. Man, I can't believe I did that. Alright, now, I don't know whether this is going to hit the camera when it goes over or not. Maybe not. Well, this is something you just kind of get a feel for. That looks good. Yeah. Take that out. Put the, I don't know which one I was using here. This one here. Pretty exciting, isn't it? But that's how you do it. Get my drop of juice. This stuff is like molasses right now. Now I gotta go to low range. Alright. Get my vacuum out, which the hose dropped on the floor. Alright, I'm going to call that a wrap because drilling the holes. Now I might do another one of drilling that big hole. So anyhow, that's kind of a wrap on this video. I'll do one more, then you'll see that tomorrow night, drilling that big hole. That takes a little bit of time. Man, I can't believe I forgot to draw my lines on that. Just something I did. That's can't walk and chew gum at the same time, but I think I'll somehow manage to get something done anyway. So I'm glad you came along, and I hope you liked the bracket here. This is kind of what it looks like, and I hope you look at that weld. That boy can weld pretty daggone good. And it had, like I said, when he welded, it hadn't been ground off at all. I said it has to stay below the flush of this, and so we set it on the table and put a washer on it and raised it up a little bit, and he put that bead right around there. Didn't he? Didn't he do a nice job of that? Anyhow, this here, he just migged that in real quick. These are, no, this is TIG weld. This is MIG weld to put those on because it just didn't make any difference. And what we did was put a bolt through theirs and held them tight. And here we just kind of had this clamp down to a table, and then another clamp coming down pressing that flat. So that's how we got that to where it was. So hit the like button, hit the subscribe button, and that's the back bumper project update. So I'm glad you came along. We'll see you later. Bye bye now.